It's begun.
It's begun.
No, not the podcast. What's begun is the inevitable demise of this podcast, because in your sound check a moment ago, you introduced this as the Ashley Engle podcast.
And it was an accident.
You're having meetings behind the scenes with management.
Edging you out.
Agencies. We got a real, what's it called? A coup d'etat
That's it.
going on. Well, I don't care for it. I don't support it, and I don't accept it. Hey guys, welcome to Brandon Birdwell Podcast. We're back in the bed person.
The same room together, guys. The gang's all back together again. Brandon, Ashley, and producer all here.
And I don't care for it. If I'm being honest,
I like it way better.
I'm kind of in the mood to remote. I'm kind of listen, here's the thing, guys. I don't like people in my space.
Well, I want to apologize for the last two episodes, guys. They were not good. I want to let you know that the Find Mic is in the mail. Back to Amazon it goes. And we're sorry, guys. But hey, we know now that if we need to record remotely, we can. Somehow.
I would also like to piggyback on that and apologize for the previous to 120 episodes, because somebody somewhere owes someone an apology, and it's me to y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Find Mic. It was a bad mic. And here's the thing.
It was echoey, guys. I'm sorry.
I tried to tell you. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. You cut corners.
Yeah.
And you're missing blocks. When you cut the corners, someone's gonna get sacked.
I learned my lesson. Okay, I learned it.
If you don't watch your blind side, someone gets a torn cartilage.
That's it.
That's what they say. That's what Joe Seisman says. Who's Joe Seisman? I don't know, guys. Being in person with Ashley is really messing with my juju right now.
You want an intro?
Hey, guys. Welcome to the Ashley Engle Podcast. I'm Brandon Birdwell. I'm apparently less than nothing on this thing.
Hi, guys. I'm Ashley Engle, the aforementioned host.
And I'm the whole enchilada, the big cheese.
I'm the other half of the Cold Hands, Warm Hearts podcast, guys. It's good to be back with you. Before we move on, I have to remark on your hair. It's looking good today.
Is it?
I like what's happening with it.
It doesn't have a hat on it.
It's longer than usual in the front, and you've got it flipped up. It's sort of like a devil-may-care situation. You look like a one of the Thor brothers.
Go ahead.
The Chris and...
I'm more of a Ryan Reynolds, but I'll take a Hemsworth.
Hemsworth, there it is.
I'm like the third Hemsworth. I'm like...
The fourth Hemsworth.
I'm the one
because there are three, no?
I'm the one who follows them around on the red carpet and adjusts their hems. And they're like,
And that's your worth?
They say, Hemsworth. Come hither, Hemsworth.
And you follow them on a Segway.
Oh my gosh, Thor's hammer. Here I am. Check this guy out. I'm flexing on him. Here's what's going on with my hair. Do you really want to know?
I like it.
Thanks.
So you got a lot of salt and pepper, and it's working for you.
Yeah. Well,
this is what's not fair, guys.
I'm a spicy guy.
I know. The salt and pepper works.
Here's why my hair looks how it looks.
Okay.
First things first. Let me take you through the whole thing.
Okay.
The year was 1982.
Got it.
No. So I decided the other day I got a wild hair.
So to speak.
Instagram advertised me some styling powder.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. We have some. It's great.
It said good hold, but it's not. But it's just like you can like mess up your hair and then fix it again. It's a whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's like you got a silly putty on for a head.
Yeah, and you can kind of readjust it. Unlike gel, unlike hairspray.
Unlike mouse. Here's the thing.
Yes.
Unlike LA Looks, unlike FOP, unlike Guerp, unlike Spong.
Guerp.
Who's been using my Guerp? It smells like coconuts and thievery in here.
Coconuts?
It smells like Whitewater Bay and deception back here. So I got this styling pattern. Now that's only one part of the story. Okay. And so the other day, this is the part where the story dips.
Okay.
And is negative.
Dips.
Door depths. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
I discovered the other day, I turned on in the heat, I turned on my air conditioner and it just started blowing hot air smooth in my face. I then take it into the shop. And I walk in because I know stuff about automotive stuff.
Yeah.
I walk in with a sense of authority and I say, where's your conditioner, man? Where's the whatever the sommelier equivalent to an air conditioner fellow is?
Yes.
They send him out. His name's Chet.
Yeah, it is.
I made that up.
It's a great name.
Guy comes out, tells me, your air conditioner's shot. You need a new air conditioner. And now I'm going to get a second opinion because I don't know if this guy's certifications are going to hold up. Anyways.
You should always get a second opinion, guys, with your health and with your automotives.
And then he says to me,
automobiles.
He says, but at least it's getting cooler out, so you can probably wait on it. And I thought, you know what, Chet? You might be right.
Might be right.
So I've been driving around without an air conditioner during faux fall. But I've had to have my windows down.
It's working for your hair.
Tousled by God. Here I am.
It is.
The angel's breath. Here I am driving down the highway trying to hear my podcast. I'm having to use earbuds. And my hair is just getting whipped every which direction. So really, I drive to and from work in a hair dryer on wheels every day. And so really, guys, my hair looking so good now is a byproduct of my poverty. But
also your new product.
Well, listen.
Can we ask the name of the product?
Deb.
No.
It's called I don't know. It's called
Chimp? Style Chimp or something? Because I've seen that one.
I did see that one. It's got some name like what they do where it's like Bushman and Borscht. It's like
a gentleman's brand.
Mustache Tony and Lori Baloney. It's got names like
what?
Iron and
Stone.
and Shovel. Yeah, like Blackstone and
Mustache.
We're not good at this.
Just very masculine.
It's got a name
words.
like that.
Okay.
But really, it's like style.
Well, it's working. I'm just saying, stay with it.
I'm gonna.
I think even once you get your AC fixed, you keep it up with the powder. See where it goes.
Keep it up with the powder, and let's just see. And keep your windows down, and just go.
It'll be January, and you'll have ice crystals.
Yeah. I get in the car, I just crank up the Bon Jovi, and I get in. Shot to the heart and just hair whipping, powder flying everywhere.
I like it. It's a good look.
If you are looking for me, just follow the trail of Bush Wills and Shermans. Okay. It's going to be on that, just a breadcrumbs, but it's hair. It's a hair product.
Hair powder.
Hair powder. Where's Brandon? He's down at the park. Followed the Bushwinds.
Okay, I want to tell a funny story, but it will require you to edit. It will require you to redact a word. Are you willing?
Can you redact on the fly? Can you just redact? Can you just not say it?
It will be funnier because this is a family show. It'll make sense when I get there, but make note of the timestamp.
Fine.
Okay. So Jeff had to run some errands this morning. He's back in town after pretty much 3 weeks of consecutive travel, guys. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Okay. We've made it work, but we hit a wall in that third week. Okay. And I said, it's time. It is time. Okay. It does help having another driver now. It helps that the kids are in a rhythm and a flow. And Jeff has come home for a few days in between these trips, but listen, I'm over it. So he's home now and he's trying to get caught back up on a lot of things. He had to run some errands this morning, one of which involved going to the tag agency.
Okay.
Which is typically not a fun experience.
That's what they say.
You know, sponsors tag agency.
Yeah.
But you guys, there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of...
Guys.
There's a long wait time.
Spicy takes with Ashley. People don't like going to the tag agency. Tell us, how do you feel about the DMV?
And it's not that people there are not kind, because they are. It's just very crowded, typically. So today, he goes in, and as he's standing behind the counter... I cannot believe I'm going to tell this story.
How did he get behind the counter?
The woman is standing behind the counter helping him on the other side. So as he's standing there, this older woman comes in and she says in a quiet voice,
Is it you, the older woman?
It wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
No, spoiler. She came in a quiet voice. She said, I called a young man and asked him about fixing my driver's license. In a quiet voice.
Okay.
And then the woman behind the counter said, yes, how can we help you? And then this woman yells, This woman yells.
It's a good story. This is a really good one.
Jeff said the volume increased by like 20.
Okay.
She was like, I need to get the name taken off my license. And guys, I can't say it on the podcast because it's a family show, but it's a real name, but it's also a bodily function. And you don't want to yell it in a public place.
I do.
No, you don't.
Guys, here's the thing. What's my favorite thing about this?
Ask us in person.
Yeah.
We'll tell you.
No, my favorite thing about this is, yes, family show. Yes, probably not going to pass muster.
No.
But redacting it makes it seem way worse than it actually is.
But Jeff said it took all he had.
You guys just guess.
Just guess.
And I think that the fact that it is like borderline but still inappropriate makes it funnier.
That's what I was thinking. And I had to tell you. He said it took all he had not to just die. And he and the woman behind the counter made eye contact for a moment and just wide-eyed. And they just don't betray what's happening on the inside. Just go with it.
I wonder if she's an organ donor.
I don't know. Listen. I don't know, but timestamp that. It was somewhere around like 10 or 11. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. What you been up to this week or weekend?
Man, just trying out some new hair products.
I can tell.
Been kind of pranking people down at the tag agency.
Dressing up like Mrs. Doubtfire and yelling,
Hello!
I need to get to my license fixed.
Your Mrs. Doubtfire
That wasn't good.
is decidedly Italian.
Totally.
I need to get my license fixed. Not at all the version that we saw growing up.
No.
The spaghetti western version of Signora Doubtfire. Signore.
Sorry.
Can I tell you something that I saw today?
Yeah.
And I don't know what your reaction to it's going to be.
Okay.
I'm driving down 10th Street.
Windows down.
Had to be. Otherwise,
Powder flying.
Otherwise, I'm basting in my own sweats.
In my own cardigan.
Yeah, because I'm trying desperately to make fall happen. I shan't back down.
Don't.
But anyways, so I'm driving down 10th Street by the hospital, one of the hospitals down there. I'm not going to name check them because of HIPAA.
Sponsor us, hospital.
I don't want to have any HIPAA violations. Moodang.
We don't need
dang. So I'm driving. And I see something like out of a movie. It's a guy in a hospital gown.
Oh, no.
Aimlessly wandering.
Oof.
Looking very confused. Very lost. No shoes, just socks. A big bloody patch up on his collar where it looks like he has pulled out his stuffs. Like his, you know what I'm talking about? Like
his IV stuff.
Yeah. And he's just walking, just aimlessly, like confused looking. And I think to myself, I'm like, what do I
Shall I call the authorities?
Right. I don't want to pull over because that's how horror movies start.
It absolutely is.
Dude wandering aimlessly covered in blood on the side of the road.
Don't ever.
I'm popping over there and I'm going to see what he thinks of my hair. I'm not scared though because I'm wielding Thor's hammer. I'm good. No, Chris Hemsworth was in a movie called Cabin in the Woods and it did not go well for him. So there's precedent for us Hemsworths.
Yeah.
So but then I think, is this a 911 scenario? But is it? So what I do is I pick up the phone, I call the hospital, I hit 0.
Brandon, good for you.
Man, the bar's low.
I'm proud of you.
The bar is low.
I'm really proud of you.
Look at this. Hey,
You could have easily driven right on past.
why don't you pop this in your next sermon about the Good Samaritan?
I might. Continue, sorry. You called 0.
So I pick him up. I call him.
You don't pick him up.
I pick him up.
No,
and I
you
say, let's boogie, brother. I say, I hope you don't mind. I like to keep the windows cracked. The dog.
Leo. High knee in my face.
Leo taking the advice of Juvenile very literally and backing that thing all the way up.
Right on up into me.
So
you call 0.
I call 0. Lady picks up the phone and I say, hey, it's Brandon again. No, I say, I don't know who I'm supposed to call with this, but there's a guy walking down the street and the hospital gown is starting to open in the back too, by the way.
Oh no, just flapping in the breeze.
And so I'm like, there's a guy walking down 10th Street, kind of looks lost. He's wearing a hospital gown and no shoes, and he's got blood on him. And I was like, maybe from you guys' hospital? And then this lady doesn't say a word to me. A totally different male voice goes, where is he? And I was like, on 10th Street. He goes, which side of the road? I was like, south side heading west. And here I am. I put an APB out on this fella in the gown. And then he just goes, he sounds so put out. And he goes, I'll send security. And then just hangs up.
Oh, you know they've been looking for him.
And does he do it a lot? Is this guy is he like the Houdini of 10th Street? Is he the hospital Houdini? But listen, troubling to see because it was straight out of a movie.
Sure, and you want him, is he okay?
But
Gosh, we hope so.
Right. The thing that was the scariest was that the big blood,
Bloody.
it literally looked like he just went rah and ripped it out.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just saying. This is what I saw today.
If I were you, I probably, because I'm so curious, I probably would have pulled over and parked within eye shot just to see what happened.
Listen.
Just to see
who
came to get him.
I fired up my police scanner. I've been monitoring it all day.
Okay. Did they get him?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
They handcuffed him to the gurney.
They did, and he's there.
Man, I hope he's okay, and I'm proud of you for doing that.
You
don't know what part you could have played in this gentleman's rehabilitation.
Guys, not all heroes wear capes. And here's the thing about me, is when I show up, I show up for the greater good. I show up, the God of Thunder hemself, God of Thunder's brother's brother himself. I'm not even a Liam. I'm certainly not a Chris. I'm Crisp Hemsworth.
That's it.
And I'm like that. I'm like the bonus Jonas. I'm like the bonus Jonas brother that no one talks about.
That's it.
But yeah, that was my.
Wow, that's eventful.
Bit of excitement for today.
It's pretty exciting.
And I did when I made the call. I hung up and I said out loud, "You're a really good person, Brandon."
Guys, if you see something, say something.
If you see a hospital gown coming open, do your part to close it.
Call somebody.
Call somebody.
Oof.
Yeah.
Man. Gosh. Well, anything else been going on? Besides that?
Just stuff. Ben had his delayed birthday sleepover
this weekend. How was that?
It's raucous.
Oof. How many pals?
4 in total. Wow. And man, having one kid's better.
Was it just like video game fest, food fest?
Food, pizza, some some cookie cake.
Yeah.
With a character called a bulborb on it. You know, when you
Pokemon?
call no, but it sounds like it. It's from the game Pikmin, which people don't know.
Yeah.
But
Ben loves it.
You know, when you gotta love hollering at the Eileens. Could you guys put a bulborb on it? And they go, oh, what now?
What?
I didn't. Luckily, I wasn't the one who had to
Google
make
it, Eileen.
I didn't have to make the call.
Sponsor us, Eileen.
Google it, Eileen. Bulborb.
Listen, Eileen, your cookies are chef's kiss.
And your bulborb is fine. I mean, if we're talking accuracy, it's a passable bulborb.
Sponsor us, Eileen.
Eileen's bulborb is passable at best. Cookies, superlative.
Pedi was pleased with it, though, right? Yeah.
He was.
Oh, I'm so glad he got to make that happen because he was so bummed out.
He was bummed.
Kind of reminds me of when Asher turned, I believe it was his 5th birthday. He wanted nothing more than to have his birthday party at Oklahoma Gold Gymnastics.
Sure.
Because they open the foam pit.
Sure.
They open the zip line. They open everything for the kids.
Sure.
The trampoline thing. So all year long, we'd been planning this party. Probably 30 minutes before we're set to leave for the party, the kid spikes a fever of like 103. And I'm like, what do we do? 30 minutes before the party, people are probably already on the way, getting gifts on the way.
Clapping, chanting, making a tunnel for him.
Sure.
Yeah, they've started a slow clap waiting on him.
So what did I do? We went forward with the party.
Nothing better for a fever than a zip line into a foam pit.
No, he didn't go. Ash couldn't go. He felt awful and he had a fever of 103.
He just...
Poor kid stayed home from his own party. We videotaped everyone singing to him.
I think that makes it worse.
I know.
I think that makes it worse.
But what was I to do? It was too late to call people to cancel. We'd already put down a deposit. We had the party without him. But you tell me what to do in that situation.
I mean, have fewer kids.
We brought the cake home. We sang to him. He got to open all the gifts in the foyer. It was so sad. It was so sad.
He hung out in the foyer of his own party.
No, of our home.
Oh, I thought
we just laid it all out.
I
for
thought
him.
like he walked in the first set of doors and then quarantined in the vestibule. It's just the bubble boy at his own party, just both hands on the glass, watching kids play dodgeball.
Do the zip line.
Oh, that looks so awesome!
Oh God.
Good job, Gage. Oh, how's the pizza? Is it good?
We passed the cake through the
Dude,
vestibule.
Yeah, just like how they feed a prisoner in the hole. How they just slide bread and water in there to him.
But he couldn't blow on the whole cake.
No, he
just
couldn't.
one piece.
No, what you did is he got to stick his hand through the door with some like computer duster and just pulled the trigger on it and blew out his candles remotely.
So sad, guys.
He had a proxy candle blower.
Yes.
Oh.
It was so sad. But truly, it was last minute. I did not know what to do. But imagine everyone's dejection when they come to the door. I greet them at the door of Oklahoma Gold Gymnastics and I say, "Hey, so glad you're here. Asher isn't coming though.
Because he
but
thinks
have
you're all
fun."
lame.
No.
Because he said, "Oh, lame party."
This is the guest list.
I got to.
Bye.
How many RSVPs? How many? I might, but I probably won't. I definitely won't.
Listen, it was so sad. We laugh about it every year. And then the next year, we did the same party again. He was able to attend. And I kept thinking in the days leading up to it, if
But
this
no one else showed up because they were like, Asher didn't even come to this thing last year.
I was so afraid that he was going to get another fever and miss it again. Anyway, well, last week was pretty full for us. I taught the discipleship class, as I mentioned, on Monday night. I will tell you that it has been the most encouraging experience to be in a room full of people who, as the class has gone on, it's apparent that many of them have different political leanings. But everyone is being so respectful and kind. And it's just so encouraging to see that it actually is possible to have respectful, kind conversations with people who have differing opinions from you.
A lot of Dukakis.
No one's mentioned him.
Well,
one's mentioned him yet.
Well, then guess what?
Not for you.
I shan't be attending. I'll hang in the vestibule in my Dukakis shirt, which I do have now because Crindy gave me one. And
I love that.
It needs a couple more washes to be soft enough to wear out in public. Mm-hmm. But man, it's a straight up Dukakis campaign shirt, and
I love that.
Oh,
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, dude.
Sponsors Crindy.
This is the whole point of this podcast is so I can express all of my weird, obscure views, and then I'll get T-shirts of it.
T-shirts for them.
That's all I care about.
Well, we're accomplishing that.
Yeah, so far so good.
So far so good on that area. But yeah, I've just been so encouraged by that class. On Tuesday, I went to dinner at a place that's fairly new in town, Thai Corner Bistro. Have you been there?
It's down there off
Danforth.
Yeah, but where the other bistro used to be, they just kept the word bistro on the sign and
put in a Thai restaurant.
Good for them.
I ordered
industrious.
Well, I know. I ordered the Yum Beef Num Tok. That's what I ordered.
Sure.
And it is so good. I went back a few days later to get it again for lunch.
I love that. I love when you find a place and you want to go back so soon.
You're dreaming about that thing that you got there.
I'm that way every time I go to Madeira once. I have to go back a second time pretty quickly right after.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned Madeira because this particular dish, it was sort of like I wouldn't call it a salad, but it's served kind of cool, but it's beef, like kind of shaved beef and peppers, tomatoes, all kinds of veggies, kind of a stir fry with a square of sticky rice.
No, and you just get to. I love that you just get to use the rice as your grabber.
And the texture of that, the chewiness of a sticky rice.
It's pretty great.
And the last time I had it was actually at Madeira. So if you get a hankering for sticky rice and you don't want to go as far as Madeira.
And I don't want to go all right. Come in for the pow pow poo poo. And it's going to be,
Yum beef num tok.
Yum beef num tok.
Gosh, guys, it's good. So good. Did you watch the VP debate on Tuesday at all?
I didn't.
Okay.
So this segment's over.
What led to your decision there?
I forgot about it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, genuinely, I knew that it was a thing, and then I did something else.
Right. I was at that dinner first, so I did not see all of it. I caught probably half, maybe a little over half. And I will say it was a little disconcerting because there was some civility. Now, was it feigned civility? Yes, it was.
It was disconcerting that people were actually civil.
Totally.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to 2024 politics.
Dumb beef talkie talk.
What? Guys, it was disconcerting because we haven't seen it for so long. Did it creep me out a little bit? Absolutely, because we've seen these two fellas on the campaign trail not speaking very highly of one another. So when they come face to face and they're nice, you know it's not real.
I gotta get the name of that one's eyeliner guy.
That is just thick eyelashes. That has been debunked.
It's 30 Seconds to Mars. He's like a Jared Lego.
It really highlights. Okay, we're talking about JD Vance, guys. There's been this rumor that he wears eyeliner. It's been debunked. He has very, very light blue eyes. They're icy.
They feel scary.
I think he has that thing. It's a thing where people have
it's
very
called panache.
Thick lower lashes, and it looks like you're wearing eyeliner, but you're not.
You gotta thin those out, Daddy.
No.
You're creeping people out.
No.
You look like you're cosplaying Jared Leto.
Brandon.
And listen, hot takes.
Leto has it.
People come here for the hot takes on politics and eyelashes.
Okay.
That's what I got. Hey, JD Vance, I got a threader. For you.
No, you don't thread your lashes. Ow.
You don't.
It's been debunked, and he just has a very intense gaze with those eyes and those lashes.
I love that you got all up in arms because my spicy political take is that one of them has very pronounced eyelashes.
Listen, we're trying not to fan the flames.
This is me not knowing enough about politics to say anything else.
About policies.
I just need to know where this guy gets his eyes done because they are on and popping.
They are.
JD Vance's eye game is on fleek, and I'm bringing that back. Not Sigma. No, they are Sigma.
They're Sigma. No.
They're not mid, I'll tell you that much right now.
They're not selling. They're cooking.
Guys, 2024, I don't care about any politics. I don't care about any politicians, but here's my campaign slogan. Let JD Vance's eyelashes cook because
they gon' cook.
Doggy. JD Vance. Here's the thing. JD Vance walks into a peace summit. You got one dictator over here, mad. Yeah, you got one guy over here. Well, I'm mad.
They tend to be mad.
And I was just one shaking a fist. Yeah. The others sniping rude comments in his language because the other person doesn't speak it.
Right.
Here comes JD Vance, sashays into the middle of the war room. Bats those eyelashes. Threat neutralized.
Okay.
Let him cook.
Okay.
Let my man's eyelashes cook.
Okay. If now, only guys, it were that simple.
Now, guys, listen. This is not me saying I'm voting for JD Vance's eyelashes.
We know you're a Dukakis man.
Have you seen the lashes on Dukakis?
No, I'm not. I've never noticed them. You know, now, honestly, he might have them, but now that we've got HD, you know, you can see him.
Dude, let me tell you something. If when Mikey D was running for office, we had HD.
He would have won. That's what you're saying.
Dude, batten down the lashes. Because here comes Dukakis.
Batten down the lashes. Well, you saved that. I felt like you were going in a direction that wasn't in line with what we do here.
Have you ever known me?
You saved it.
Have you ever known me to get unsavory around politics?
Yeah.
Politics?
Not on here.
I don't know enough to. I don't know enough. But I know lashes. Okay? And you say you don't thread?
Listen.
You know what I hate?
What?
When you're getting your lashes threaded.
Okay.
And the gal.
That's not a thing.
And that the gal at the kiosk is hovering over you too close in my space.
We've talked about this.
And she's got one end of the thread in her mouth. You're threading these lashes with your mouth?
Crindy can't do it. We've talked about this. When you walk by the mall, she starts dry heaving.
It's
she
wild. I don't like things involving eyes anyways. And so having like if you're flossing my eye hole and
it's a brow. They don't do the lashes. No one wants to get rid of their lashes, Brandon. That's not a thing.
Vance has to cull those quarterly because because they'll overtake his entire being. It's like how you burn off fields. It's like you have to burn off fields so they'll
controlled burn.
Yeah, right. He literally burns his eyelashes off once a quarter. Okay. Otherwise,
can you cite your sources?
Reddit. Wikipedia. I'm deep in the eyelash Reddit on the dark web.
Ew. Don't want to know. I know we've been talking about it lots and lots, guys, but I really hope you're doing things to take care of yourselves in this time. You know, we're less than a month
Self-care.
Out from the election.
Get your lashes threaded.
Get your lashes threaded, guys. At least quarterly.
Your mani, pedi, and your ocular thready. Guys, come on down. Well, I'm opening up one. I'm opening up a kiosk. It's called...
Listen. But I'm just saying, guys, probably at this point, everyone knows who they're voting for, who they're not voting for. So it really doesn't benefit us to just be caught up in the gnarly news cycle and just take care of yourselves, guys. We need to preserve our mental health because the days ahead, I don't know. They could be rocky and we want everyone in tip-top shape, okay? All right, we had lots of soccer and football.
Before we move on, I need both of us to acknowledge that the tagline for my salon kiosk being "Get your mani, your pedi, and your ocular thready" that's elite. That's Mount Rushmore marketing material right there.
And here's Ashley trying hard to do an actual PSA to help people take care of their mental health during the election season. And you...
Forget the Ashley podcast. This is the Lashley podcast, and I'm taking it home. I'm going all the way.
Listen.
Cash only. Guys, come on down. I'm going to thread your eye holes with my mouth. Guys,
sick.
Get yourself a Cinnabon and get ready.
An Annie Ann's.
Get a Cinnabon and get ready because Daddy's got a thready. Here he comes. And I'm using dental floss. It's minty. Because I'm industrious like the bistro people. I'm going to use what I have.
That's it. You're going to violate multiple health codes with your floss.
They don't apply to kiosks.
Okay. We had lots of soccer and football last week, 2 games in each sport.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of Asher and Hope. They both played very well and each had very great moments in their games. But one thing I was reminded of at one of these football games was this.
Go ahead.
If you have a child at the game with you, let's say a younger sibling.
Okay.
A younger sibling. And that child is jumping with full force up and down the bleachers the whole game.
Ooh, on the metal ones, just rattling everyone's buns.
Don't let them do that.
Don't do it.
Don't let them be the bleacher kid.
I
Everyone hates it.
I completely agree.
It's loud. It's scary.
Get out of here.
it shakes the whole bleachers. Stop it.
It's like fireworks, and it's reverberating through everyone's thighs.
You feel it in your teeth.
I'll tell you who you don't want to be. You don't want to be on top of the bleacher kid. You want to be under the bleachers, pitch and woo. You want to be pitch and woo under the bleachers, because that's where magic happens. I'm not up here shaking everyone's legs. I'm down here trying to get a dame to go to the movies later. Let's go to Carmike 6. But first, I'm gonna pitch some woo under the bleachies.
Listen, it happens every game, and I'm incredulous. And listen, I've had kids who've done some bleacher jumping before. It's a natural curiosity. It's a temptation for all of them.
Do it once.
But as parents, we need to intervene for the good of the rest of the spectators.
For the good of the race, for the good of the human race, we intervene.
Guys, thank you for coming to my TED Talk, but I can't with it.
You know what happens to bleacher kids? They eventually go into politics.
They probably do.
And here we are tuning in to watch them metaphorically jump on all of our bleachers. Because that's all that's happening. I watch these debates, and it's just insolent jumping on the bleachers.
So you feel it in your teeth.
Meanwhile, down underneath the bleachers, Dukakis, pitch and woo. Pitch and woo, bat and lashes.
This metaphor is off the rails.
We're so much better in person.
There's so many awkward pauses remotely. Ugh, I hated those.
I wish we could figure that out, because I do love the remote thing, and I do love that it automatically has the video. I like that, but there's something that's lost in the the rat-a-tat. We have more like a rat. Tat.
Yeah. And then there was a slight echo.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And I only need one of you. Yeah. I don't need you talking at me twice. Well, I'm glad we agree. Anyway, Bleacher Kid.
Bleacher Kids, no to that. Okay, the homecoming game was on Friday night at Harrison's High School.
Okay.
He had a lot of fun. He went with some friends and helped out in the broadcasting booth. And it just thrills me that he is enjoying broadcasting.
Yeah.
So fun that they have that program at the school. But I got to do something super fun this weekend with my friend.
I'll be the judge of that.
Well, I bet you will. With our friend Angie, dear friend.
I really like Angie.
I know, same. And Angie and I went to...
Don't get a big head, Angie. It's a problem with you already. Anytime Angie comes around, I go, here comes ego Angie. Here she comes, chewing up all the scenery, making it about her.
That is the farthest thing from the truth.
Oh, sorry. No. I was thinking about myself. I confused myself with Angie again. That's on me.
Guys, we adore Angie.
That's called projection. Guys, and I'm an expert in these sorts of things.
In mental health.
Oh, wait, there's me confusing myself with Angie again.
Totally. Angie is a mental health professional, guys. Okay, so Angie and I went to...
And I'm a novice. My mental health is novice at best.
Yeah. So Angie and I went to a conference this weekend called Painters, Poets, Priests.
Which one are you?
Well, I'll let you decide. Okay, so it was hosted by Oklahoma City, First Baptist Church of Oklahoma City. Fun fact. Our friend from high school, Sarah James, who is now Sarah Baker, is pastor there.
Oh, nice.
And so I got to see her. This building, speaking of 10th Street, is absolutely stunning. The most beautiful church built in 1912. A pipe organ is built into the front of the church. I've never seen an instrument like this. Took up the whole front of the church. And this was unlike any conference I've ever been to. A lot of times at conferences, they keep things moving. The speakers are like quick and quippy. This one, they allowed a lot more space, a lot more time. And the people who were speaking were poets. So there was a poet named Malcolm Guite. There were artists, theologians, and then Beth Moore spoke, who...
Why do I know the name Beth Moore?
Beth Moore, speaker, author of Bible studies, books,
painter,
for decades.
Poet.
No, and she said, she was like, I'm none of these things, which I would say Beth is more of a prophet, but...
I would say Beth is just more.
She's more. Guys, it was such a beautiful, different, and inspiring conference, and I'm so grateful for it. there was really something to being in that room with people of the faith during a time when, let's be honest, the church in America is getting a really bad rap, and for good reason a lot of the time. But for this particular instance, it was so encouraging to be in a room with people who were of like mind. We sang the most beautiful hymn, and involuntarily just tears were streaming down my face. So gorgeous to be in this room singing All Creatures of Our God and King with these other believers. Anyway, I'm just leaving this weekend feeling very inspired, feeling very uplifted, feeling hopeful, which is something I've been struggling to feel lately in terms of the church in America, if I'm being honest, as someone who teaches in the church. So I'm so grateful for that. Grateful for Angie. We had a really special time. So there.
That's really great.
That was my weekend. Okay, on Saturday morning.
Wild.
Okay, on Saturday morning after soccer, Jeff took a load of guys to the lake to celebrate Harrison's 16th birthday, which was in July. We're killing it, but I think they had a blast. But funny thing, he kept sending me pictures of the house, of little corners of the house, and it was like wrappers and cups and bowls and towels, and he was like, "It's like a frat house in here."
It's like animals.
We've been here less than 24 hours.
It's like filthy animals. Clean up after yourselves.
No, they're not filthy. They're a great group of boys, and they were so respectful, but he was just laughing at the little pockets of nonsense around the house.
Disgusting.
Okay. What was I going to say? Next thing. I want to make sure we have time. Have you cooked or eaten anything good lately?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
I did go to, like I said, I went to Madeira last week. Always a pleasure. I made fish and chips again yesterday. I keep tweaking the recipe and changing it.
Yeah.
My dog just went right underneath that tripod. That was crazy. Yeah, I mean, I feel like those are the ones. Nelson, my father-in-law, gave me some pork belly.
He's a great cook.
That I've been using in a bunch of different stuff. So I've had a real pork belly heavy few days. So yeah, just that. But the thing that I made recently was I made fish and chips yesterday.
Fish and chips.
It's delicious.
Perfect.
I love it.
What fish do you use?
Cod.
Okay. That's my preference.
It's the best.
For fish and chips.
And
white, flaky.
yes. And I fried it. And I fried it in peanut oil yesterday. And it was delicious. And
do you put some malt vinegar on it?
yes. And watched Hocus Pocus and have decided that will be my tradition henceforth because we were like, it's Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's they have cod.
God. Either that or a
what do you got? Your fish and your chips? You got cod? What's that? Cod? Say hello to your mother for me.
I like that. Can I come next time?
No.
Okay.
No.
We watched Hocus Pocus 2.
Yesterday?
No.
Hocus Pocus also or Hocus Pocus 2?
No, I don't know that I'll ever watch 2 again.
I will. I'll watch it every year. I'll watch Hubie Halloween every year for the rest of my life.
I'll probably watch Hocus Pocus 2. I don't know that I'll be able to convince the rest of the family to watch it every year. But we watched one, and then last night we watched Addams Family.
Which Addams Family?
The first movie.
Okay.
Love it.
Ricci.
Oh, Christina.
The Christina Ricci vehicle.
Gotcha.
She was the breakout star of the Addams Family.
Gotcha.
Not Raul Julia. Not
he passed on.
Not what's her name?
Angelica had an illustrious career. She's had a good career.
Not Pugsley. He's that guy. We don't even know Pugsley's name.
No.
Not the Hand. Lurch.
Fester.
Fester, but I mean, I don't know.
I know. Okay, so it was a 2 pumpkin cream cold brew week for me last week. 2 from the Starbies, and field producer Amanda sent me a copycat recipe from Molly Made. What Molly Made?
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you this. It did not turn out the way that I wanted it to.
It's because Molly didn't make it. If you made it, right. And you should have made it more how Molly made it.
I tried.
Well.
The Starbucks version, and I've had several of you reach out to me and say, you know what, that is a great drink. It's Spency, so here's a copycat. But my pumpkin cream that I made was more solid. It was more like a whipped cream consistency, where the Starbucks is more of a foam. So I got to keep working on it, but the flavor was good.
Yeah.
And I want to tell Amanda I'm grateful.
Yeah, she's always on the hunt for if she can find a cheaper, better, whatever alternative, she's
out here. She's boots on the ground.
She's got a nose for these kind of things.
She does.
She seeks them out.
I'm going to keep trying with it.
She's also got a nose for any time I do anything wrong. That is that is like from something else, or like that I've like, perfect example is last week I did this move when I was walking, and she was like, that's like how Jim walks like a bed bug in the episode of The Office where
it's a very specific reference.
It is. And what's funny is as I was doing it in my head, I was like, oh, this is totally Jim's bed bug thing. So she nailed it, but she's always on the lookout to catch me stealing a bit.
Fact checker. We need it. We need it. Another thing I ate this week.
We don't know anything about eyelashes, Brandon. That's getting me next. She's going to come at me with that.
Please come at him with that.
Don't.
Another thing I ate out this week that was delicious, and I want to recommend it, was the honey pimento Chick-fil-A sandwich. But I did it as a lettuce wrap in an effort to be a little bit better.
I love how many steps this order.
No, it's the name of it. Honey pimento Chick-fil-A sandwich, but you get it as lettuce wrap. Guys, it was messy, but it was so good. And as we know, I am a sucker for pimento cheese.
We do know that.
This sandwich is real good. And it's bad because now I'm craving it. It has some jalapenos on there, but they're not super spicy.
That's not for you.
I know. We all know Mama can't handle
You can't.
it. But
That's
I've done
not for you.
I did it.
No, you don't. This
It was
is
fine.
It's irresponsible.
I did it.
You're being irresponsible.
It's true. It really is true. The next time I do it, it'll probably go very poorly. Okay. I also wanted to talk about something funny that happened. Hope's one of her favorite things to do lately is to pour through our old yearbooks. She has gotten them all out, all of our middle school, junior high, high school yearbooks.
Mine too?
Me, Jeff.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, no, our books. I remember doing that with Mom and Dad's yearbooks.
Sure.
And loving to hear, like, in their newspaper clippings, and loving to hear them talk about all that stuff. So she was going through them this week, and she found some funny things. The first one was a friend who wrote, your, Y-O-U-R, your sweat never change.
It's true, though. It's true about you.
Your sweat. And I wondered how many yearbooks say that. I bet a lot.
Man, you remember how for like an entire year I wore the same sweatshirt?
Gray hooded.
Your sweat? You never change. That was meant for me.
Did I get yearbook on,
I think so.
on accident?
Is there a 2-page spread that I take up the entire thing of?
No.
Not a centerfold. Just had to make it work. Totally. I had to bridge the gap.
Stop.
Put them across the spine. JK, this is high school. I was yoked. I was Thor's hammer in this bia.
That's true.
Strutting like a bed bug through the halls in the same sweatshirt every day. Your sweat never change.
But it was your sweat never change. Lilas BFF.
Who's Lilas?
Do you remember Lilas? Love you like a sis.
Oh, no, I don't, because that's not.
Nobody ever wrote that for you?
Nope. I was more the, like, you sign the bridge to the thing and say, don't you hate it when people sign your crack?
Sign your crack.
I was that guy.
Classic. But then.
Stay cool. What?
I got some bad news.
What? Yeah, stay is not the problem. It's getting.
Become.
But the problem is it's hard to be cool when your sweat never change.
Listen.
It sounds like Borat was telling me to change my sweatshirt. Your sweat never change. Yes.
That's for you, Zeke.
That's for Zeke. Hi, Zeke.
He loves a good Borat.
I would, dude. That is the father in me, because it's like a starter pistol.
You
If a dad hears
resist.
the word Borat, he has to do a Borat impression. King in the castle, I have a chair. Yes.
Bedbug.
That was Borat.
Bedbug walk. Okay, but this is so funny, and I want to share this. In my junior high yearbook, in small print, very small print, I noticed a fella. I'm not going to say his name. He
Can I guess?
was a friend. No, he was a friend. And he signed my yearbook, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And then he said, I'm serious. This is not a joke. And guess what? I want to apologize. You know who you are, because I just saw it. I just saw it. This is our generation's equivalent of leaving someone on red. I feel guilty about
for
it.
Decades.
For decades.
That is the long dude. And here's the thing. He's listening right now, and that's the equivalent of seeing the 3 bubbles. It's like, oh, she's responding. Here's the thing. I want you to find this gentleman.
Okay.
I want you to go to wherever he lives.
Okay.
I want you to take your nicest gel pen. I want you to have him get out his yearbook, and I want you to write, no, thank you.
Listen. Listen, my kids could not believe it. They were like, Mom, that's so mean. That poor guy. And then the next time I saw him, I was like, hey, fill in the blank name.
Hey, not
How
boyfriend.
was your summer? And he probably
How
thought,
was your summer? Did you stay cool? What a long, strange trip it's been. Am I right?
I'm sweat.
I'm sweat. Don't change.
Listen, my kids were dying.
Yeah.
But honestly, I didn't see it until I was 44 years old.
It's pretty, well, honestly, I'm putting this out there.
What?
Does the offer still stand? Because I, maybe
he's great. I might have gone for it.
Maybe he's carried a torch for you all these years. Every night he mopes out onto a widow's walk that he built on the side of his home.
And sings to the moon.
Sings to the moon, hoping you're looking at the very same moon. Yeah. We got a real Fievel Goes West scenario here, except sadder. He goes out there carrying a lantern that he lit onto his widow's walk in the suburbs.
Still carries a flame.
Is that the widow's walk guy from the subdivision?
So dramatic. Listen, he's great. And if you're listening, you know who you are. And I truly apologize. I might have gone for it if I'd seen it. Okay, how...
Such a sliding doors moment. You missed it.
Two roads converge in a yellow wood.
You missed it, Gwyneth. Speaking of poets, Robert Frost wrote about that moment in your life.
That's it. Decades before.
Two roads diverged in a yearbook, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Meanwhile, this poor guy freezing on his widow's walk
for decades. Listen, while I live my life with Jeff Engle.
What a sad person.
Okay, how is your algorithm?
There's a guy in it, and I'm gonna message John Mark Nelson. He's in it now because Matt Toney turned me on to him. He's like, and I'd seen him here and there, but he's like a musician. He makes like little loops and bleeps and blorps, but he's so good. Matt played me some of his music yesterday, and so he's been showing up in my algorithm ever since. It's awesome. John Mark Nelson, he's great.
Nice. Mine's got a lot of seasonal fun.
Sure.
Seasonal fun.
Sure.
There was a series of posts from Wild One Shop. And it's a haunted house butt. Have you seen those? A haunted house butt.
Haunted house butt?
A haunted house butt. It's your kids standing next to your bed saying they throwed up.
Yeah, throwed up.
A haunted house, but the pump says, please see cashier.
Oh, hate.
Nightmare.
Hate it. Won't do it.
A haunted house, but it's your Facebook post from 2008.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, me too. I had a baby in 2008. It was a lot of baby pictures. A haunted house, but it's your bank account after you were sad and treated yourself. A haunted house, but your kid starts coughing. Anyway, I thought that was funny. Okay, what you been watching, reading, or listening to?
Well, I feel alive for the first time in months.
Hey.
Because 60 songs that explain the 90s, the 2000s. And I say it that way because that's where how the greatest podcaster of all time, Rob Harvilla, the music started, but it's fun. We'll just edit it back and then later. It's fine. Okay. Rob Harvilla, gosh, I'm going to have to mute this. It's messing with my head space.
Your hair's getting bigger as it's messing with your head.
I'm threading it.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
There you go. So Rob,
that's the way he
says it, and he's committed. There's only one episode up, and it's about the song "Mr. Brightside" by the Killers.
Okay.
And he commits that every time he says it, he will say the 2000s because it's such a stupid name.
So it's essentially a new season of your favorite podcast,
but about another decade.
Oh.
And it's so good. I listened to the first episode today on a walk, and I'm so happy about it. I've watched, because I've been listening to the rewatchables a lot, I've started kind of rewatching movies that they talk about. Yesterday I watched Face Off.
Oh gosh, it's so good.
It's so unhinged. I had forgotten what an unhinged movie. Watched it, and I watched Primal Fear with Edward Norton, which I've only seen once forever ago.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's scary.
He's so good in it.
He's a great actor.
He's on a real heater in that one, and I like that movie a lot. And Richard Gere, very handsome man. Very handsome man, Richard
Silver
Gere.
Fox.
That, obviously, Hocus Pocus.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you about Beetlejuice? Because I know Beetlejuice. I know you and Lindsay saw it in the theaters. What were your thoughts?
It survived only on in the nostalgia with me.
Bummer. I've read mixed reviews. But mostly heard bad.
It didn't know what it wanted to be.
Darn
and it
it.
tried to do too many things.
Darn.
There were entire plot devices that could have been removed and the movie wouldn't have changed. Like there was a whole character that was like, just get rid of this character. It doesn't even belong.
Yeah.
So
Bummer. I'll still see it.
I wanted to see it. Well, you'll see it for the same reason that I saw it. I saw it for the nostalgia alone, and anything else was a bonus.
Right. Hope and Asher saw it with mom and dad. Did not care for it either.
It's not great.
They said the language was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's. But I mean, that doesn't bother me. But it's because I'm not an L7 weenie.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. But yeah, and then I'm throwing a plug for that John Mark Nelson guy. His thing that I listen to is under the name Signa, Signa.
Okay.
It's so good. It's like instrumental and so good. So good. Anyway, what about you?
Love that. I've been watching Nobody Wants This on Netflix with Kristen Bell and
Lindsay started that.
Adam Brody. It's really sweet. It's a sweet romantic comedy. I feel like it's what we've been missing.
I mean,
we like a rom-com. Why are we? Everything is so heavy and dark. We want a rom-com.
I'm not watching it because it's right there in the title for me.
Okay. Very cool. After the conference on Saturday night, Hope and I found ourselves alone and we did our nails and we got pizza and we watched Ella Enchanted with Anne Hathaway, throwback, and Father of the Bride.
Father of the Bride's great.
Gosh, Franck.
Welcome to the 90s, Mr. Bonks.
So great.
First, we must get the cash. So good. If you're ranking movie houses all time, is Father of the Bride in your top 5?
Number one.
It's number one?
Number one house for me. If someone said you could have any house from any movie.
Or the Home Alone house?
I would choose Father of the Bride house. You know, because the decor suits me better.
Or the Home Alone house?
I would have to redo some decor in the Home Alone house.
I would like the house from Insidious.
I've never seen it.
Or how about Amityville Horror?
No.
Texas Chainsaw House.
No.
The Bag End.
Father. Maybe. We'd have to duck.
It's not ideal for us.
Not ideal for tall people.
But cozy. Second breakfast?
Very cozy.
I do love breakfast.
What's your warm heart for the week, Brandon?
I will say, after him having to postpone even though it was just a cacophony of sounds and
smells,
not too bad. Mostly pizza.
Yeah.
But it was just, it was fun to see Benny actually get to have his sleepover, and that lifted his spirits and made him feel excited and happy and
living his best 12-year-old life.
Living his best 12-year-old life. I've been doing that for years and years and years.
Welcome, Ben. Mine was this conference. Gosh, I needed it. I didn't know how much I needed it, but I am inspired and I'm hopeful and I'm grateful.
Honorable mention for me. Those lashes. Also, honorable mention for me is
hair powder. Is
the fact that my difficulties have contributed to my hair being better.
Yeah. Silver lining.
Quaff. Why do you have to take a jab at my gray hairs? Hey guys, thanks for listening to Ashley Engle's podcast.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.